In this video, we're just going to factor a ton of stuff, all sorts of different factoring things. So this is, I can factor a GCF, or greatest common factor, from a polynomial. Whenever you see a polynomial, you should right away think, hey, what can I factor out of that? So really what I'm going to do is look at all of the numbers and figure out what can I pull out of all of the numbers. And in this case, I see something that comes out of 5, 35, and 20. Now, the thing that you have to remember is that you have to actually write down what you pull out. So I write down a 5 because that's what I'm going to pull out of everything. And then I'm not done yet, because do you see how there's letters? So how many of each of those things can I pull out? I can pull out one y from everything. So I'm going to put a y out here. Then I write down what is left. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. Y to the third divided by y is y squared. 35 divided by 5 is 7, and there was a positive sign. Y squared divided by y is just 1y. And then minus 20 divided by 5 is 4, and the y's all cancel. That's it. Now, if you're like, hey, can I check my work? The answer is for sure. And this, you might get a question going the other way. If I multiply it back through 5y to the third plus 35y squared minus 20y, does that get me back to where I started? It does. So this was ultimately what you were looking for, but it's a good skill to be able to go back and check your answer. Now, let's factor some trinomials when a equals 1. Those are my favorite. Okay, so what multiplies to give you y squared? And what multiplies to give you negative 18? Well, y times y. What multiplies to give me negative 18, but when I multiply it back, it adds to give me positive 7y. So I'm thinking 2 and 9. So I get 2y, 9y. Who has to be positive in order to give them together to give me positive 7y? Positive, negative. Okay. Now, when you write it into your two parentheses, you're going to say first y, and then second y, first number, second number. And then I said that the 9 has to be positive, and the 2 has to be negative. Now, just as a question, this is all I need to do here, but could you tell me the two solutions out of there if I wanted my two zeros? Hopefully you would say positive 2, negative 9. That's an extra added bonus. Okay, now look at this one. Before I can start, I've got 2y to the third plus 14y squared minus 36y. Do you notice something? Do you see that everything could be divided by 2 first? So I could take a 2 out of everything. But there's something else I could take out of everything. I could take a y out of everything as well. So now I have to write down my 2y, and what's left is y squared plus 7y minus 18, because I took the 2y out. Now that's super important, because if I were solving it, that would give me a 0. Now I'm going to keep breaking things down, break it down. Oh, hey, wait, that's the same as the last one. So my solution for this one, when I factor it, my factored form would just be 2y, y minus 2, and y plus 9. Now, if I were asking you the zeros, I would have 0, positive 2, and negative 9. That wasn't what I was asking, but it's always good to remember because that's coming up soon. Last one. I can factor the difference of two squares. So where do you look when you're thinking of squares? Right, you look at the clock. So let's see. I see 4x squared and I see minus 25. Because it's minus, it's a difference of two squares. So basically, what happens is you're getting 0x in the middle. So 4x squared, that would be 2x and 2x. And what multiplies to give me 25? 5 and 5. One has to be positive, one has to be negative. So 2x plus 5 and 2x minus 5. Now this one here, I don't see perfect squares right now. They're not numbers on the clock yet. But look at 18 and 98, and right away your brain maybe says, hey, 2 comes out of both of those. Always try 2 or 3. Look at 2 comes out of there. So I have to write it down, but then I get 9x squared minus 49. Oh, look, 2 perfect squares. So I get 3x, and I get 7 and 7. Plus 7 minus 7. So my final answer is 2 times 3x plus 7 times 3x minus 7. Yahoo! I love those.